Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This time I like to speak about those people who are going to the embassy for the second, their third, their fifth time. Yeah, last in my previous video I talked about generally how you're supposed to answer the questions while at the embassy, and I talked about some of the questions that are commonly asked currently. And in this video I'm going to talk about how somebody who is going to the embassy for the second, or maybe who is attempting for the third or fourth time, is supposed to answer their questions. Yeah, there's a way that when you go to the embassy, especially if it's not for your first time, they will ask you questions. So I really like to help that one person, that the person they are watching me right now, that is really wondering, how am I going to approach my questions? I failed at my previous interview. How am I going to do it this time so that I can be able to be approved in my visa? So this video will really help you a lot, guys. And this moment I like to really I like you to be very attentive, so that as I be able to approach some of the questions, you can be able to listen and you can be able to understand how you're going to do it. And for sure, I know you're going, this time, after watching this video and after doing more research, you're going to get your visa to be approved. So kindly be attentive as I'll be able to explain all this to you. So when this person who is going to the embassy for the second or the third time is preparing him or herself, there are some things that you need to put in concern. Yeah, for you to go to the embassy, for you to rebook, you'll have to follow the same procedure. Yeah, you'll have to pay once again the appointment fee. Yeah, mostly it's always $160, so you'll have to pay for that fee. So the next thing you'll have to do, you'll have to transfer your service. If you are changing the school, you have to transfer the service. But if you are not changing the school, you won't transfer the service will just remain at that school. And you need to be very attentive. If you failed at your interview, maybe for spring intake, yeah, and now is fall, you need to ask the school, you need to ask that school. If you are maintaining the same school, they need to give you the latest I-20. Yeah, don't go with an I-20 that the period has already passed, because the people at the embassy there, they will ask you, hey, your I-20 has already expired, so you need to go with the latest I-20. Yeah, in most cases you need to be in touch with your school. If you've liked a certain school at a certain state, go with it. Yeah, but if you can get another school, maybe a different school from the one you've gone with, and it's offering you a higher percentage of scholarship, you can go for that, because it will be a booster to you as you will be answering some questions there at the embassy. So that is the background of what I just wanted to give you, so that you can be able to understand what I'll really talk about in my video today. So guys, I like this video to really be of help to you. So the first thing, as you are preparing to go to the embassy, now this is your second time, let's assume it's your second time, you've booked for your appointment, you've prepared all the documents that are required, you are now set for that day. The things that you need to be very careful about is that as you'll be going for the interview, the consular who did interviewed you in your previous interview won't interview you this time that you'll be going there. So you'll meet another different person, because when a given consular interviews you, he or she will record that he did interviewed you. So if you go there at the window, if you meet the same consular who did interviewed you, he will tell you, wait, just sit outside, you'll be called. So you need to have a wider scope of how you are going to answer your questions, because as you go for your second time, questions will be a bit much deeper into really what you are going to study, or what your reasons for going to the US. So you need to be very prepared, very much prepared as you go for your second or maybe fourth or fifth attempt. People have gone even up to 10 times, and People out there, they don't lose hope. In this journey to America, people don't lose hope. People have attempted even up to 11 times. And at that time, when they are almost losing hope, is now when the time God now says, hey friend, this is now your chance. He grants them the visa. So no worry, you can get it. Even if you failed, you can get it. That's why I'm here. So as you will now be in front of the consular will ask you, the first question that the consular will ask you, hey Brian, you've been here severally, what has changed? That is the question that you need to expect, the first question that you need to expect, because every detail, everything you say as you go to the embassy is always recorded. So you have to remember, you will have to know that they'll ask you, they'll just say, hey Brian, you've been here severally, what has changed? So there needs to be something there need to be some changes, because you can't just go there without any change. Yeah, so the first thing that will happen is that when you ask that question, what changed, you need, if you change your school, yeah, some other people can change their school. Yeah, they can, maybe somebody can go and find a school maybe which is offering a higher percentage of scholarship, or maybe the previous school was offering him or her the course which that person never liked. So just tell the consular, I changed my school, and the reason why I changed my school is because the previous school that I had gone with to the embassy was offering me a lower percentage of scholarship. Right now I've gotten a school which is offering me a higher percentage of scholarship. So when you just say that, the consular will be satisfied. Now if you never change anything, just tell the consular, the previous time that I came to the embassy, I was not able to articulate my words well. I was not able to explain myself well. So right now I'm very much prepared. I'm going to really explain myself well. So those are the things, that is an approach that you can give. My answers are not correct, but I'm just explaining it to you out of experience so that you can be able to know how to really tackle these questions. So when you are asked what changed, approach it in a good way, in a very much good way. If you change the course, be in a position to tell the consular, I did change the course. The course maybe that I came with last time was not my course of choice. Maybe you've been having interest to study maybe a course maybe in nursing, or maybe a course maybe in medicine. You can't say the previous time I had gotten an admission to study maybe IT. My school maybe was not offering me nursing, and I've been having that interest to study a course in the medical field. So this school is offering me my course of choice. That's why I changed from the previous one to this one. So when you explain it that way, the consular will be convinced that for sure you really know what you're doing. But if you just wonder, or if you just keep quiet when the consular asks you that question, you'll end up being denied also once again the visa. So be very careful, because that is the question you'll be asked. If you're going to the embassy for your several other attempts, they will ask you what has changed. Be prepared for that, my viewers. The second thing you need to know is that after they ask you that, the consular can ask you, how many units will you be doing? So when the consular asks you how many units will you be doing, this question is the same as when a consular asks you how many subjects are you going to do, how many classes are you going to have. Yeah, so when a consular asks you either how many units are you going to have, how many classes are you going to have, how many subjects are you going to have, just tell that consular. In most cases, most schools will give you 5 classes, an average of 5 classes or 4 classes, because you need to have an average of, there's something called credit hours. So per unit or per subject, it always has 3 credit hours. So as you come to study here, you will have a maximum of 18 credit hours. So when you calculate that in a rough scale, you will have an average of 5 classes with an average of 15 credit hours or 16 credit hours. So that is what always happens per semester. I'm talking about units per semester. So you need to be able to articulate yourself well and be able to tell you the consular that when the consular asks you how many units will you be having, just tell the consular will be having an average of 4 units or 4 subjects or 4 classes per semester. Yeah, so don't say less than that. If you say 3, it's very, very low. You can say 4, 5, or 6. Yeah, it doesn't, in most cases it's between 4 to 6. So when you ask about how many classes, say that. Yeah, the next thing the consular can ask you, can you name for me some of the units you are going to do? So for example, somebody who is coming to do nursing, you can be asked that question. So when you ask that question, there are several units in nursing. So maybe you can say introduction to human anatomy and physiology. You can say psychology. You can say introduction to rural sociology. You can say health assessment. You can say there's a unit in pediatrics. You can say microbiology. You can say nutrition. So at least know around 4 units or 4 subjects that you can be able to approach as you will be able to study. So as you do that, this will really be of help to you. So guys, that is how you can tackle when you ask to name some of the units that you are going to do. The next thing that the consular can ask you is can you tell me something about the city which you are going? You know, you need to know the city where you're going. You need to know where your school is. Yeah, so when a consular asks you, tell me something about the city you're going, be in a position maybe to name if there is a museum in that city. Be in a position also to talk about an international airport or a regional airport that is found in that city. Also, you can talk about maybe the state of art or maybe a monument in that city. Yeah, you can talk about the distance between maybe the nearest, maybe you can talk about the nearest maybe shopping area, or maybe the distance between the airport and your school. You can talk of in terms of mileage. So at least when you talk about that, you will have a clear glimpse. At least the consular will understand that this person really knows where he or she is going, and that person is very much interested about the place you really want to go. So that question, you can expect it, yeah, as you go for your second time. Yeah, the things I've told you, the things that you'll be asked on your second time will be much deeper a bit as compared to somebody who's going for the first time. So you need to really know. The consular even can ask you, can you tell me something about your school, the school which you are going? So be able to know maybe some of the professors in your school, know the one in charge of your department, at least know the acreage of the school. Yeah, it can be 70 acres, 40 acres. At least know the school president, the school motto, get to know even the school nickname. Yeah, get to know also if your school has got several renowned alumni, be able to be in a position to talk about them. Yeah, so that when you explain this way, the consular will really know that you really want this thing. Remember, you lost it in your previous time, so you really need to convince your consular that for sure you know where you're going and you really want to be there. So by talking about these things, guys, I really want to shed more light for you. So another question you can expect as you go for your second interview, the consular can ask you, why do you really want to go to study in USA? That question will really be posed to you. Why do you really want to go to US? Why not just study here in Kenya? So be in a position to tell your consular about the advanced technologies here in USA. Be in a position to also talk about the diversity, how education here in USA is more diverse as compared to education in other places in the world. So that question expected. You can be asked that question. Why do you really want to go to the USA? Another question the consular can ask you is that, why do you think I should give you this visa? Why do you really think I should give you this visa? Yeah, so you need to convince the consular. When you ask this question, you need to convince the consular that for sure you really want it. So when you ask that question, just tell the consular, for example, by me getting this visa, it is going to be a gateway for me to go and further my studies in this university. By studying there, I'll achieve my career goals, and this will give me knowledge so that I'll come get a good job and be able to work in my life goal career. So be in a position to tell the consular that, because you are going to convince the consular, because the consular previously was not convinced. That's why your visa was not approved. But here now you want to set things right. You want your consular to really know that for sure you want this thing. So another thing that the consular can ask you as you go for your other attempts, for your second attempt, the consular can ask you, if I reject your visa, what will you do? Yeah, what will you do if your visa was rejected? So when you ask this question, don't start crying, don't start getting worried. The consular has not said I'm going to deny you. The consular just want to see how well you can react, or how you really desire to have this visa. So when you ask that question, just tell the consular, I am hopeful. I'm very, very much hopeful that my visa will not be denied, because I've given enough answers towards my visa. But still, if my visa is rejected, I'll go check on where I went wrong, make amendments, and reapply once again for my interview. So that is how you can approach it when the consular asks you, so that by approaching it that way, the consular will really feel for sure you have hope that you're going to get it, and for sure you really need it. But if still things changes, you're going to still apply for it because you really want it. So this will convince the consular for sure that person, this lady, this beautiful lady, this handsome guy really want this visa. So expect that question. It can come in any angle, but when you talk well, when you approach it very, very well, you are going to really get it. Yeah, all these answers is based on my research and in my findings here and there, and in my interactions with my friends who also they have gone to the embassy. Some have gone severally, and they have been able to share to me how their experience was. So what I'm telling you can help you in one way or another as you do prepare. So just stay positive, just stay focused, and just know things can work. Yeah, and another question that you need to expect is that as you go to the embassy, if somebody could have been denied their visas, maybe because of the bank statement, so you need to watch out. If your bank statement previously, the consular asked you so many questions and had some doubts about the bank statement, find a way of changing that bank statement. Get another bank statement. If in your previous interview the consular stopped at the bank statement, that means that the bank statement is what had the problem. So you need to go find another bank statement. You need to go get a good bank statement, so that as the consular, as the consular will be talking to you, the consular will be looking at what made you fail. At the embassy, when you fail, they do record what made you to fail, but you won't know, they won't tell you. It's just you to go and sit around, think it out again, or explain to a friend how the entire process was and where things went wrong, and that's how you will be able to address that problem. So as you get to know if it's the bank statement, get a good one and explain very much about it. Yeah, so get to know, because as you explain yourself, the consular will know where you went wrong in your previous interview. And if the consular gets to know where you went wrong in your previous interview, even if you have all the other records well, you'll just still go there where things went wrong, where they did record it that you did mess. So as you move out from your previous interviews that maybe you failed, go sit down, evaluate yourself, and get to know, where did I go wrong? Explain it to a friend and be truthful to yourself. Then address that problem very well. If the school is what maybe it never showed a good, maybe if maybe they had a challenge, with you about the school or maybe your course, go on and address it, because you can go to the embassy, then they ask you, what did you score in your Form 4? Maybe in biology, if you're coming to do a medical course. In most cases, so many students, they have been asked that. Which course are you going to do? I'm going to do nursing. What did you score in biology or in chemistry? So after saying that, they will ask you, can you give me your certificate, your Form 4 certificate? So after giving it out to the consular, if maybe you failed in your sciences, the consular will tell you, why have you chosen to do nursing and you really failed? The consular will think that since you failed in your high school, you won't be able to manage studying it in the university. So as you undergo this thing, you need to get to know that when this thing happen, when this thing happen, you need to explain to the consular that the school gave me several exams. The school gave me Ocuplesa exams. The school gave me maybe other exams like Duolingo exams. I did my SAT, I scored very well, and after my good score, the school was there ready to give me a chance to study nursing. So be in a position to explain yourself well, because you need to expect that you will be asked that question. The consular will ask you that. He will ask you, why have you chosen this course and you failed in your sciences? So when you ask that, defend yourself by what you have. The school mostly will allow you to do it because of your good SAT scores, because of your placement tests like Ocuplesa, Duolingo exams. They can accept you to do that course maybe because of your high school grades or your GPA. So be able to defend yourself well in that line, and by defending yourself well in that line, for sure you'll be given an acceptance for your visa. So if you find out, maybe if you are in doubt about your course, I'll advise that maybe you change. If you see that maybe it's the course which affected you, you can change and choose a different course. You can decide to apply for maybe a course in social work. You can decide to apply a course in IT. You can decide to apply a course in exercise science. So all these courses, you can choose them. So that once you reach here and you feel like, no, I chose sports science, but I don't want that course, you can be able to come and transfer and do the course that you wanted. So be on guard, so that as you go there, they won't keep on denying you your visa because of the course which you chose. So that situation always happens to people, and you need to be very, very careful about that. So generally, that is what I wanted to at least capture in brief about this person who is going to the embassy for the second or for the third attempt. So I am here for you guys, and I really want you guys to stay square, to really be on guard, because I don't want you to keep on failing at the embassy. That's why I'm making this video for you. So keep on watching, keep on following. I'll also make another video about the people also who are going to the embassy for their second and third attempt. I'll also explain more and more things. This is just the part 1 that you need to expect as you go to the embassy for your second and third attempt. So keep on, guys, subscribing, keep on watching, and keep on praying. I know God is going to really bless you a lot. Don't lose up. If you really want to accomplish your dreams of coming to study in USA, don't lose up. Just be patient. Just have faith that things will work out, and stay square, stay focused. Have a positive mind that someday my visa is going to be approved. Don't worry. Somebody can go there once and they get it. But even if you've gone there your third, your fourth time, don't cry. Don't be stressed. Just stay positive. You will get it. Your day is coming. And for sure, when that day comes, your visa will be approved and you will live to glorify God. So thank you, guys. Keep on watching. Keep on liking my videos. And keep on subscribing. You'll learn a lot and you'll be blessed at the end of it all. Thank you.